All right, beautiful people. Welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And as usual, I have with me the smiling, the royal, the intelligent, the creative, the beautiful Z5B. Happy Founders Day herself. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, party people? My name is Sinclair, aka
The
Health Nerd. And excited to be here on this lovely Founders Day. By the time this comes out, it'll be past Founders Day. But regardless, happy belated Founders Day to all my sorors out there. Bye.
Shout out to the sorors.
Yes.
So few disclaimers. First disclaimer, as you can see, I'm going through some hair transitions. I'm actually beginning my lock process. The guest that we have on, I want to talk to you about your lock process in a second, but literally the hairstylist is in the other room, just taking a lunch break. I'm in the middle of locking. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, but that's why I have the hat on, so you'll see a little bit of straggly hair. But secondly, that's also why my brain's not functioning at 100%, because like when I get my head rubbed and I get my head, like, it's so relaxing. I'm just like, I'm having an out of body experience, but I have to be here in my body, so it's hard to talk right now. So if I mumble my words, that's what's going on. But Queen, weekly check-in. How was this second week of 2021 for you?
This week was good. It was a productive week. I feel like the first week kind of coming back. I think on the last podcast I mentioned it was on my first full week of work since like the first week of December. So it was a little bit like getting back into the groove, a little bit stressful, but this week was much better. I feel like I'm more officially back into the groove and like getting back on my grind heavy in terms of like, all right, kind of getting my schedule together. What am I working on what days, and getting my social media posts consistent, which if you know me, it's such a hard thing for me to be consistent on social media. I'm not like super big on social media, but we do use it for business purposes. So I've definitely been on myself about, get ahead of time, get all my posts ready to go, get my verbiage ready to go so I can just press post, whatever. But yeah, it's been overall a really good, productive week.
Daniel Fast update.
Continuing to drop these pounds. At this point, I think, although I did go, it's always like up and down each day. But overall, I'm like 12 pounds down in 2 weeks, which is crazy. I didn't even know I did not expect to lose weight that fast, but I'm not mad at it either. But I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that we're already, it's eating like super clean. Right. So we talked about what the Daniel fast is, but it's no animal products. It's no processed food, no wheat flour, anything like that. So it is super clean. But on top of that, we already have been practicing and have adopted intermittent fasting into our life. So I feel like on top of that, our first meal usually isn't until noon, and it's usually a smoothie, or like today it's going to be a protein style veggie burger. So I feel like it's like the Daniel fast plus intermittent fasting is like significantly, dropping these pounds. So I'm not mad at it.
Agreed. 8 pounds down, started at 217, now at 209, hoping to go down a few more pounds. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We in here. Solid 209. Bye-bye. Let's see what else. My week was also very productive for like the energy level that I've had because of the clean eating, been able to get a lot more stuff done. Also semi-stressed because there has been a lot of stuff done, and now that I feel like I have the energy to do it, I'm like, oh, I should be doing everything. Not the case. I still need to rest. I still need to slow down. So today's going to be a restful day.
Good job.
Thank you. It's very
he doesn't rest. He's a workaholic, so I would have to congratulate him and really just say good job for taking a day to like chill.
Yeah, you got to. But we have had the amazing privilege and opportunity of investing in real estate in this lovely castle that we have right now. We did an under construction like retreat, and like the metaphor that we did was like you building up your castle, you building up your home. But we wanted to, maybe stop talking about metaphors so much and bring someone on here who can be like, hey, this is how you buy a house, this is how you buy your castle, whether it's a real castle or a metaphoric castle. But this is how you buy and invest in real estate. So we have a good person on here, someone we went to college with, Darius Graham, who is a real estate agent out in the greater Sacramento area. But no matter where you are, like you can take these nuggets of knowledge on how to start. So we're going to get into that. Are you ready?
I'm ready because, buying real estate, investing in real estate, that's definitely a big part in financial health and building economic wealth and generational wealth. So I'm excited. Let's do this.
Let's do it. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, man. Long time coming, Darius. Welcome to the TH4 podcast. Thanks for coming, bro.
Man, appreciate you guys having me. It's like you said, it's a long time coming. I'm definitely a fan of everything you guys are doing. Keep inspiring people like myself, the younger generation, and just Black people and people in general, man. I'm definitely, I look up to you guys and what you guys are doing for sure.
Thank you.
That's love. We accept that. We receive that. Thank you. Can you talk to us about how you just like found the professional path of real estate and teaching people? Because what I like about yours is you actually like on the gram, like you're teaching
educating
people too.
Yeah.
Right? Not a lot of real estate people do that extra step. So can you just talk about like what motivated you to just get into the real estate business, but more so like why are you educating folks?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I think a lot of people, especially, in college and things like that, of me as, I played basketball, didn't really know much about anything outside of that. Right. And, although I do love basketball, I've actually been around real estate for most of my life. Right. My mother, who is my mentor in this, she's a realtor for 20 years in the business. So not only just to, give her flowers in the Sacramento area, she is one of the top, if not the top. She has in her 20 years over 850 transactions. She's like the Jordan. She knows real estate through and through. And more importantly, she's super passionate about it. Right. So just going around with her to go and show clients properties, seeing different houses, that's on one scale. Right. But also, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough, right, that my parents as well have invested in real estate. They own their home. Nice. I've been a part of that process for a long time. So legit, I was probably in elementary school and I would go to rec league basketball games. And after the basketball game, we would drive to one of their rental properties and I would literally be getting like cash money put in my hands, rent and stuff. So just being exposed to that, right, and being exposed to just what real estate can do for you, how significant it is. And essentially, it just put the mindset in me from a young age that, right, I want to own real estate. I want to be invested into that. I had that knowledge from a young age. So when I, got out of college and, as I continued to pursue a professional basketball career, but I also said, let me get my real estate license just to in and around that, build that up, because eventually the game of basketball is going to stop and I want to be able to transition smoothly. So with that, I was like, hey, what's going to be my why, my purpose into this, right? So I understood from a very young age that I was fortunate enough to be in a household where, like I said, my parents owned their home. They had investment properties, not only in Sacramento, but around the nation and stuff. And I seen the benefits of having a passive income come in, having mailbox money get sent to your house,
Talk
and
about
being
that
able to have
money. Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out Nip, man. Shout out Nipsey Hussle. But just being able to have that and seeing the freedom that they had, right? my parents have been to literally, I think they can count on one hand how many basketball games they missed in my life, right? And that includes in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, right? So that's trips to and from LA every weekend. That's trips to Hawaii. We took tours outside the country. And my parents were able to get up and go whenever they wanted to. And that's simply because, they had income coming in that they didn't have to worry about paying their mortgage. They didn't have to worry about just the struggles, right, of having to physically generate money, right? Their money was coming in. It allows my mother to do real estate out of pure love, right? And not having to sell a house, which then, the savings of that go into the clients because we're not trying to sell homes. We're trying to inform and get them into the best situation. My father has been retired. He was a retired correctional officer. He retired when I was in I want to say the second or grade, and did not have to go back to work, did not have to bring in another income because of, again, that mailbox money and stuff. So like you said, my page is informational because it's not to sell. It's to, again, put that spark in the people, specifically Black people, because a lot of people don't think that they can get into real estate, don't think that they could buy a home, only think to rent. And although that's a good option, I want people, when they do get income, to start having the mindset like, oh no, I'm getting this income to buy a house. I can buy it. I'm going to go towards that trajectory. So that's pretty much the purpose that I go about it with.
Love it. Love the vibe. Definitely the frequency that we're on. And you were talking about the mailbox money and the passive income. I know folks are listening like, all right, well, how can I get there? Like, what do I need to do? So can we rewind a little bit? And if you're a first-time home buyer, right, and I'm coming to you for either education or for you to be my real estate agent, what are some things I should probably just have lined up, whether it's a certain minimum credit score, whether it's a certain amount in the bank, just education wise, like what are some of those like just basic steps that you would help folks go through as a first time home buyer?
Yeah. So I think, well, first of all, I'll say thanks for coming, right? The first thing that you should do, especially if you have no type of direction of where to go, is to contact a trusted realtor, right? I always say that your realtor is like your point guard, they're your quarterback into what you have to do. They can ask your specific situation, right? Because everybody's situation is different, and then be able to lead you in a direction, right? Generally, right, in terms of like just first things that you have to have in your like a ducks in a row, your credit, right? A lot of people they don't understand the significance of credit, the significance of how much the higher your credit, the more buying power that you have. So I would say, especially in this time, the goal that you want to have is probably about like a 640 minimum, right? 620 to 640 minimum, and that could get you into some programs, right? But obviously, the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate that you can get, the more buying power that you have. In terms of money saved, I can't necessarily give you a round ball number of how much money you should save, but what I will say, right, is mindset, and that's one thing that I talk about in terms of with people. If you want to get into real estate, you have to change your lifestyle. You have to have a mindset in order to go about it. It takes a certain type of discipline. So it's not necessarily how much should I save, it's get in the habit of just saving to save, because right, the market shifts, things happen. Houses right now are very are at the top of the market. Things will eventually change, and you just want to be able to be ready for that opportunity, right? Just for like food for thought, and like a reference, right? Um, and I'll get back to this a little bit later as well, but it's not a lot of money. You have $4,000, $5,000 saved up in your savings account that could potentially get you into a situation, right? Now, obviously, the more that you have, the more that you could put down, the more that you can probably get on a larger house, more expensive house and things like that. But you could get into situations with as little as 4 to 5 thousand, sometimes even less, and I'll get to that a little bit more. But first thing, like I said, contact your realtor. They'll put you in the direction. Let's say that you are ex-military and you want to get into a home. From there, I'll look at that and I'll say, okay, I'll put you in contact with a lender that specializes in VA loans, which are specific towards people that are in the military. Let's say that you come to me and you say, Darius, I don't have a 620 credit score, 640 credit score quite yet, but I'm looking to get into that. I could put you in the direction of a lender who specializes in getting people right, and has good credit repair companies that they can refer to. So again, everybody's situation is like a fingerprint. It's different, but like I said, when you come to me, I could direct you into that. And then the other thing is, understand that this is a long-term situation, right? What my mom and I always say, it doesn't matter if you're looking to buy in the next 3 months or the next 3 years, right? That process needs to start. So if you can start as soon as possible, we could then get you into this situation maybe 6 months from now to be like, okay, I'm gonna have my savings, I have my credit right, and I'm ready to get into a house, right? You don't want to go blindly. You want to have a game plan as to what you got to do.
So I love what you're saying, and I think it's very different from at least how I was thinking before we purchased. And what I was thinking is like, before I talk to a real estate agent, I need to have my stuff together because I don't want to waste their time. And I think like we tried to buy a house like before we were ready, and it didn't quite work out. And like I did feel bad, like, dang, like did we waste people's time because we didn't have the kind of our ducks in a row. But what you're saying, let me know if you feel the same way. But what you're saying is, which I like way better, is once you commit to the idea of I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna be an owner, reach out to a real estate agent and they can help you get ready. You don't need to be, Kobe or LeBron right to go. You can be a regular person and get coached by a real estate agent, get coached by Phil Jackson, and they can help you be ready for that time.
Yeah, I definitely have that mindset. Like, I feel like that's just my personality too. Like, before I reach out to anybody, like I'll research like, okay, what are they going to ask me for? Because I don't want to be asked for something and be like, I don't have it.
And look dumb too. Yeah, like, you don't want to look stupid. Like, I need 3% down, 5% down. Oh, dang, I didn't know that. Oh, I need a 650. Oh, I didn't know that. I got a 590. Like, right. It can be awkward.
Yeah. But to your point, like, I think building that relationship with your real estate, or with your realtor is important because they can help you get to that point. And I think
exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
Perfect. No, and that's exactly one of our mantras is let us help you get ready for when you are ready, right? And like I said, it's a marathon. It's definitely a marathon. And quite frankly, it's because of my mentor. My mom specializes in the first-time homebuyers and things like that. So again, I've been vetted in this, but you're not supposed to know. That's my job, is to help you, guide you, hold your hand, and inform you on what needs to be done, right? And a lot of times, right, I see people, like yourself, that are looking to get into it and may have that mindset and aren't working as efficient as they could, right? Whether it's, oh, my credit's not good, I'm working on my credit. Sometimes you just talking to a professional that has professional eyes on credit could help you get your credit higher for less money, right? A lot of times, like for instance, let's say you have 3 credit cards that are maxed out, right? Instead of paying off one at a time to just get one down and then to get the next one down, you may do better. Let's say, like, let's use $300 as the max, and let's say for each one of them, so you have $900 each. Let's say that you have $300 to be able to pay them off, and you decide to only pay off one for the whole 300. You'll do better dividing that into 3 and paying $100 down for all of those in some situations, right? But that may not be something that because you're just going about it, yourself and stuff. So always talk to a person that's a professional, and especially if you're looking to buy, it costs nothing to be able to get consultation from a realtor. None of this is at a charge to you, right? The seller pays my commission. So if you do have questions, if you have anything, yeah, your realtor should be able to inform you and put you in that direction, man. Because like you say, it's a long game. It's definitely a long game.
There it is. So if you want real estate guidance, real estate advice, definitely you can get your education from Darius Graham over there. He does a lot of stuff on social media. You can just follow, real simple, and you can get that information. But also reach out to maybe your local area real estate agent. And if they're not willing to teach you, that might not right. That might not be the one, right? If you're asking all type of questions and they're like, oh, da, 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 then it's like, all right, cool. You don't deserve the commission. I'm gonna go with somebody else who's gonna be a little bit more patient. So shifting over a little bit, obviously the big cat in the bag and the whole world, COVID 2021, whatever we're calling her these days.
Yeah, man.
Can you talk about maybe just some innovation or just changes that you and the team have been able to make during COVID times that just help you still be able to do what you do and what you love?
Oh yeah, it was a big shift, especially for a person like myself specifically, because I was still young in the game and I was just now getting my feet wet and finding a rhythm in terms of creating clientele and stuff. And in the normal world, the way that realtors you kind of get the ball rolling is through open houses. So I was starting to generate more open houses, and then from there, people that come by, I can try to network with them and become their agent and stuff. But obviously, when COVID hit, laws changed where you cannot have open houses anymore. So I had to pretty much change my whole get down, and especially during the first months when everybody was really sitting at the house, I just had to be innovative. And I really, and I know it's a real estate talk, but again, it's the mindset shift of I took COVID in that time, and I was telling everybody around me that this could be an opportunity. This is an opportunity to some. It's not a punishment. It's an opportunity. And I took it as an opportunity. So that's when I really started the spark of I have to give out information. It's an information time. This is not about money at all, because people have a lot of things to worry about, and buying a house may not be the first thing on their mind initially, but I want to be able to plant that seed and at least get them in the mindset of it. Simply because we're at the house not doing anything, you might as well get educated.
Right.
So that's where I started a series of mine. I did it on Instagram Live, and it was called Brick by Brick. So every Wednesday, I would go on and just talk about the steps. So I had, layers. I had the foundation. I had the structure. I had the roofing and stuff, like just what you had to do. And it was between, financing, picking an agent, the mindset you have to have, the credit, to then the different types of real estate you can get into, owner occupant, rental, doing flips, things like that. The comparison between the two, renting versus buying, doing flips versus having a rental property, and then the lifestyle of how you could, like I told you guys earlier, benefit from that. So it was good. And then from there, I just kept the ball rolling of just having informationals, throwing out knowledge, and doing like free game Fridays, of having just little nuggets to be able to give the people. And from there, what I was able to see was people that did not think about real estate start thinking about it, start applying those. And some of the biggest rewards that I got was being able to put a person that went to UC Davis with us into a home.
Nice.
A high school classmate of mine got into a home, and then also a person that went to high school of mine who started from watching the Brick by Brick series. They took the steps and they got into a home. So that was great. And now I'm able to have some credibility and create clientele, and just like simply help people get into their houses. Like my mom and I say, let our family show your family the way home. So we've been doing that for sure.
Look, bro, you out here slinging these houses. Come on.
Trying to, man. Trying to. Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
All right,
But yeah,
so
man.
we're talking a lot about real estate, which is a lot about economic health, getting your money right, getting your mindset right too. But I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to know, what are some of your health goals for the year that set for yourself, or that you may be thinking about, like maybe I want to try this, but what are some of your health goals?
Yeah. Well, before I get into those goals, I do want to say that I'm glad that you talked about the fasting. I guess it is one of my goals. It was one of the things that I like to do, especially like once a year. But I actually just broke a 5 day fast from all foods. The only thing I drank was water, some tea with some sea moss, and
All day
some
for
yeah,
5 days.
yeah. So 5 days, man. So
That's faster
water,
than we've done.
yeah, just
Commend you.
water,
Woo!
tea with sea moss, and a little bit of juice. So I did that, and it was definitely I do it for the spiritual, the holistic. It was very enlightening, you know what I'm saying, and also cleansing to my body. But other goals that I have is, just more consistency. I'm pretty diligent with like my workouts and how I go back about with that, but just staying even more consistent, even more locked in. Like I said, I still have the basketball bug. I still do that, so I'm in the gym working and stuff like that. So I stay with that, and also just mentally staying locked in on my meditations every morning. I try to get about 15 to 20 minutes every morning of meditation. I got the Headspace app, and I think I'm 111 days straight right now. So I just don't want to break it. I'm just trying to stay with it. But
Yeah.
with that, it has changed my life. It has brought a whole lot of awareness, and it's anchored me throughout these days, through the highs and the lows of the crazy times that we're in. So those are some of my goals. Another thing is just eating cleaner, right? I've been looking at your guys' pages of some of the health tips. I definitely am trying to get into the more of the vegan lifestyle, because when you eat cleaner, man, it really is like it's night and day. It's night and day. I've seen myself eat bad, and my moods start to change, and the clarity start to lose, and then go into eating salads and eating just a healthier choice of them, having smoothies, and then again, like the days seem better, and the it's just brighter and stuff. So I'm trying to just again be more consistent with that.
Yeah, look, eating clean, you be that annoying person that's just in a good mood for no
Good
reason.
morning.
Like, hey,
Let's
how you
go.
doing? Hey, what's
Man.
what's wrong? I don't know. I feel good.
Yeah, what is there to be wrong about? Like,
Exactly. You're not even tired. You're just ready to go. You're just ready to get to it.
So you mentioned meditation, and I love that that's a daily practice of yours. Especially, I feel like right now is the perfect time to get into meditation, because of one, everything that's going on. It's a really good way for you to just kind of center yourself, focus on yourself, and slow down for a couple of seconds. But I feel like what a lot of people's, and including what my kind of reserve was before I started, was like, I have too many things on my brain. I can't turn my brain off. Like, that's impossible.
Man.
Can you talk about kind of like what has been your experience? And I know like meditation, it's a journey like anything else, like a fitness journey. Like you start off and sometimes you have these thoughts that come, and eventually, at least what I've found is like you just get better at letting, if the thought comes, it comes, but you let it drift rather than like holding on to it. But kind of talk about some of the journey you've seen throughout your meditation journey, on maybe what were you struggling with at the beginning, and what do you find now that you've maybe not mastered, but you're getting better at?
Yeah, I think the word is acceptance, right? Accepting everything that's there in that moment, and not fighting it, right? I think when you talk about the thoughts come. Like, that's what your brain is supposed to do, right? That's its function, is to come up with thoughts and do that. But I don't have to attach to those thoughts. And I think a lot of things I've been doing is just, especially at first, is I kept on attaching to the thoughts. And then I would be upset with myself for attaching to that thought. But I had to have more compassion of the fact that, no, this is a part of the journey. Just acknowledge it and get back to breathing. Just acknowledge every time that happens, just acknowledge it, accept it, and get back to breathing. And more times than not, once I started doing that more and more, I started to have more gaps of space where I wasn't going on with it. It was silence, right? And the thing is that each day I meditate, it's a whole different experience. Some days I feel very calm, I feel very centered. There's other days where I'm super antsy and can't do anything about it, but I still accept and control that, I'm here, I'm present. And I think that what that has allowed me to do with my thoughts and also just my emotions, right? It allowed me to identify what am I feeling and just sit with that and look at it from an observer's standpoint, as opposed to knowing that like I have control over it, right? Because again, thoughts, emotions, just like thoughts, they are necessary. They come and go, but you don't have to attach to it for a longer period of time, right? We've all been upset about something and it ruins the rest of your day.
Right.
But it's like that moment, that feeling, yes, it's valid. You deserve to be mad in that moment, but you can also choose to be able to move into another direction and choose how you want the rest of your day to be able to look and stuff. And it's easier said than done. I think when I get out of a meditation, it shows, it allows that invisible space to respond of things, right? A lot of times we react to things without the onus to know that we have the control to respond to stuff. And I think meditation has allowed, again, that space to be like, okay, if this happened, how do I choose to react? If this happens, how do I choose? Okay, I feel this way. How do I choose to move on from that, right? And just with more and more time, it's just been super helpful. It allows me to be on top of the day instead of the day, like chasing the day and stuff like that. And so it's just been beneficial. I recommend it to absolutely everybody. If it's 10 breaths in the morning, right? 10 focused breaths, and then move your way to 5 minutes and then 10 minutes or whatever, right? I think it can cure a lot more than people think.
Y'all better get yourself a meditating real estate agent. You see how calm this brother is right now? If y'all want to just be calm and at peace when you're going through your process,
that's a good tool to have, especially throughout that process that can be kind of stressful.
No, facts.
And I love what you said about like that invisible space, because it does. I don't want to go too far into meditation. I can go into a hole, but it does just allow you to, like you said, decide how you want to react to the situation rather than being a victim of your reaction. Right. Whether you just react and then it's like, shoot, what happened? I don't even know what I just did. Mm-hmm. But the last thing I wanted to talk about that you said was eating healthier. And you mentioned, wanting to eat healthier, wanting to eat, eat cleaner, eat some better recipes. So I actually have a couple recipes I would like to share with you if you would like to hear them. And I think they're three of.
First of all, what's your cooking level at right now? Like 0, I don't cook. I eat Pop-Tarts, to 10, like, oh no, I'll throw down.
No, I can cook a mean breakfast. But that's about it. That's about breakfast. I can whip up some eggs, but that's about it, right? But I can learn. I definitely can learn.
Okay.
The thing about me is that when I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I don't like to cook. I hate the process of like, if I'm hungry right now, I don't want to wait 30 minutes to cook. But I have to get past that. I'm gonna eat now. Yeah.
I get it. Well, luckily the 3 recipes I have are all pretty quick. And they're all pretty simple. And I like them because they can be easily customized to whatever lifestyle, whatever diet, fits you. So the first one is stir fry, which is super simple. Yeah. Right. You get some vegetables, you chop them up. You can make some brown rice, add your seasonings to the vegetables. Maybe if you just have some teriyaki sauce in the fridge, throw some teriyaki sauce or some stir fry sauce, some soy sauce, whatever sauce you want on it. You could do some sesame oil, and what's the word I'm looking for? Medley? Yeah, sure. A vegetable medley, and you throw it together, and it's really simple. And it's really good if you leave the vegetables just a little crisp, you get a little crunch, and it's super healthy and delicious. If you want to add some protein onto it, you can add some chicken or some, if you go on more vegetarian, some tempeh, some tofu, whatever you like. But that's a really easy one.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Another one, a staple that I love, is a taco bowl. And that's pretty simple too, because you can use, again, just some standard rice if you want rice, or you can get some cauliflower rice. They have like a bag of frozen cauliflower rice that you can pop in the microwave at home.
Okay,
Can
that's
of
my speed.
beans. Yep. Can of beans. All you got to do is microwave the beans or warm up the beans. Again, some veggies. You can get just some onions and peppers. They got them chopped up already at the store, ready to go. Throw them in a pan, cook them a little bit with some seasoning. And then, whatever salsa or guacamole that you want on top. Again, if you want to add some protein, same thing. You can add your grass-fed beef. You can add your free-range chicken. I'm adding those on there just because those are the best quality meats. Right, but whatever suits you. Yeah, and that's just another easy one that whatever your cooking level is, you can probably make that work for you.
No, you make it sound simple for sure. You make it sound simple.
I promise it is. It is as simple as you want to make it. And then the last recipe that I have is a curry. Now this one is probably the on the higher level of a cooking scale, so I would say don't start with this one, but it is still relatively simple. And that's because a curry can be very complicated, but it can also be super simple of just some. Will you stop?
Look at his face.
It can be some vegetables in a pot with some seasoning, and you add whatever liquid you want, like whatever you want your curry base to be. So like a lot of curry bases are coconut milk or, some vegetable broth or chicken broth or whatever. But, I love making a simple curry with some almost like a Thai yellow curry where you have some carrots, potatoes, and onions. Throw that in there with some curry paste, some coconut milk, let that simmer, call it a day. And so that's another really good healthy recipe that you can get, as long as you don't, again, you can add whatever flavors you want to it. But if you use like an already made curry paste, it makes your life really easy. You can go to like the Asian food aisle in any grocery store, and they have ready-made curry pastes. You throw that in a pot with some vegetables, add some coconut milk, and you got a curry.
Man, that sounds good.
Well done.
That sounds
chef.
good.
Yes.
I appreciate them. I'm gonna definitely put those in the rotation for sure, because that's better than the noodles that I'm making right now.
So a slight kind of a medium transition. Can you talk about in your perspective, home ownership in the ideal world, but home ownership can be a part of creating a healthier lifestyle. So can you talk about how, hopefully these college friends that are buying homes, these families that you're helping to buy real estate, how that may impact their health or their kids' health later down the line?
Yeah. I would say just on a well-being standpoint, it's a lot better, right? For instance, a couple of things in comparison, I'll say like to like renting it, for instance, right? When you buy your home, it's your home. If you make your payments, it's your home, right? So you have that peace of mind. I think the biggest thing with all this is just a peace of mind. You have the peace of mind to know that as long as I make my payments, my mortgage payments, I'm not going to have anybody that calls me and says that I have to move out in 30 days. I don't have, that stress is not there, right? You have that. I'll say just on a creative standpoint, right? You have the freedom to be able to do what you want with your home and stuff like that. Just on the creative side, but also the ability to be able to have that money, have house at times essentially be a bank for you to venture off into other things, right? And to create a foundation for whether it's your kids or whether it's just yourself and different things. For example, right, I had a client, it actually was my mother's client, who bought a home, and the equity on her home down the line, she was able to refinance, pull some money out, and create her salon. She's very much into hair. She was passionate about that and wanted that to be her long-term profession, right? It brought happiness into her. It was better than going to a job that she didn't necessarily like. So she was able to leverage her home to be able to buy a salon and from there she's able to do what she loves to do now. And just her overall mood, overall well-being is better. She's just in an overall better mood just because she's doing what she wants to do. So again, she has the peace of mind, the freedom to do what she wants to. So I look at it in terms of that being like health, in terms of just like her mental being good in that aspect. But at the same time, it's like, kids go off to college, things like that. You could potentially use your equity to be able to help pay for those type of things and do things of that nature. So again, owning a home is good for just your peace of mind and this freedom and opportunity to do other things, right? That's things that you can't necessarily do in other situations and other circumstances.
All right, love it.
Think of like when you think about like your hierarchy of needs, right? Like you cannot elevate to any of the higher levels until you have your basic need of, a food or shelter met. Mm-hmm. So I think, right, when you buy a home, to your point, it's almost like as long as you keep those, as long as you keep those payments, a roof over your head is not really something you ever have to worry about. You always have a place to live. You always have some place to go home to. So that taking that weight off your shoulders allows you now to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? What is something that makes me happy? But if you're worried about the roof over your head and you're worried about getting evicted next month, then you're not even going to be able to think about healthy recipes or, meditation or, those types of things, because you're worried about, I got to keep a roof over my head for my kids.
Or even this one too.
Say it again.
I'm sorry. No, I apologize. But I was saying this one as well. I forgot about it. But think about this. Your mortgage is fixed. That's right. There for, unless you refinance, it's there, right? You don't get a call from your landlord saying, oh, we're going to increase rent by $200 as well. For some people, $200 a month, that could be a big wrench in their budget, right? So it's the same type of uncertainty that could happen at any time. So again, like you said, a peace of mind. So sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to add that one in there as well.
Absolutely.
Do you have any more on that thought, Queen?
No, I think I was just riffing off what he said about how I think it all plays into, you have to have your basic needs met before you can start thinking about those other things. I think that's another way it kind of plays into your health and your overall well-being.
There it is. Okay. So you want to play a game?
The game maker says.
Right. So we're going to do a little bit of a game thing. It's really just going to be versus questions, right? So this versus that, and you just give whatever your professional or personal opinion is on it. Obviously, all of them will be real estate focused. Okay.
That sounds good.
I'll start off with a layup. All right. A little something because you already talked about it. But renting versus buying, your kind of 2 cents on that scenario.
Yeah. So it definitely depends on the situation. Just in simple terms, if you are planning on being in an area for 2 years or more, I would personally suggest, in my opinion, to look to purchase, right? You could, fix up your house. You can do things like that, potentially get some equity on that home in that time, just like that, because, the market may change, it may do stuff. You're more solid in that spot. If you are looking to stay in the area for 2 years or less, I think that renting may be a better, decision for you, just because of, unlike buying a home, you can give a 30-day notice that you're about to move at any time as a renter, right? So you have a little bit more flexibility in that sense. So again, it's up to whatever you're doing. Although I'm in real estate sales, I definitely don't just put people in the homes just because, right? If you're planning on, moving to New York in the next, year and a half and stuff, if you're not looking to have that as a rental property for yourself, after you move out, I would suggest that you rent. And if you're planning on staying here for 5 years or more, 2 years, like I said, 2 to 5 years, whatever, I definitely suggest that you look to buy.
I like it. All right, moving on to the next one. Buying during COVID, buying after COVID, right? I think that's a very big question. I think a lot of people are probably on the fence about. So your 2 cents on buying maybe instead of during COVID, because we have no idea when it's going to end, buying in 2021 versus buying after 2021?
Yeah. So, again, these are only my opinions because, again, situations, I always got to give that disclaimer. I can't tell y'all what to do. I don't want anybody to say, yo, Darius told me to buy. Yeah. But, yeah. So I would say it like this, right? What makes this time a beneficial time for buyers is the fact that interest rates on homes are at a historic low, right? I'm talking about it's never been like this before. They are in the 2%, right? When traditionally, I would say 4.5% was like doing good, right? Now, just for reference, my parents bought their home, I want to say in 2001. And I want to say their interest rate at that time was around like 8% and stuff. So yeah. And it was, I think when my dad bought his first home, he got it at like 12 or something like that. So, things definitely changed, the special change. So right now is a good time to buy. And what that means, right, is that buyers could lock in on lower interest rates. You're essentially borrowing money for a discounted price, right? And that means that you have more buying power and you get to, your money goes long in that type of sense. So I know a lot of people want to say, well, houses are high right now. I want to wait until after COVID, when the properties, are a little bit cheaper and things like that. One thing that I would like to just have you guys be mindful of is the fact that when prices go low, interest rates go back higher, right? So that $300,000, and you got to think of the long game, right? I did one of these on my page, and I don't know the exact numbers, so I'm not going to give the exact numbers, but I want to say, if you buy a house, I'm giving rough estimates. If you buy a house for like $300,000 at a 2.5% interest rate, you end up saving more money long term than buying that house at $250,000 with a 3% interest rate and stuff. Just through the long term, you end up saving like I want to say like 50,000 or something like that, right? So again, you may look at right now, but one thing that I try to do, especially for my clients, is just look at the big picture. Think of the long term of not just the initial buy, but down the line. So again, to answer the question, if you are prepared to buy right now and you can, and you're in a good situation, I would suggest looking to equalize off these interest rates right now.
There it is. Take advantage. All right, maybe last one. Buying a single family home versus buying a residential multi-family home. All right, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah.
So you started smiling. So he's
Yeah,
like, I like this question.
Okay. No, I like that one because that goes into the investing part, right? Because you're essentially an investor. You're getting that passive income coming in with a multi-family home. That is, if you have the money to be able to do that, if you are comfortable living around, well, I asked you this: are you talking about to live in the multifamily, or are you talking about solely to? Yeah. So if you're comfortable being around your potential tenants and things like that, I definitely would say do that and capitalize off of the income, because essentially you could be living in that house for free, with the three other places, or the two other, whatever the multifamily, whatever the number is, paying for your mortgage per se, right? So I'm all for doing that. I'm all for being able to grow and play Monopoly with your money. So I'm an advocate for multifamily.
Yeah, sure. Play Black Wall Street, though.
Wall Street. Or play Black Wall Street.
Talking about?
Hey man, we got to talk about that too, because man, oh man, me and my family have some heated games with that one, man. I love it.
Y'all over there putting houses up for bet, like, hey, whoever wins, they get to sell the next house. Thank you for playing the game. Well done. 3 for 3. Did your thing.
Appreciate it, man.
So there's tons of other things that we can definitely talk about. We try to keep these little bit shorter for folks' attention span. So we definitely need you to come back and do a deeper dive on some things. But kind of like just like real hardcore takeaways that you want folks to have in this first session with you. If folks are supposed to leave this podcast, leave this YouTube, and take some type of action, what do you think those action steps should be for them?
Especially with real estate, I would say, um, ask a realtor, get into the game, and figure out what your game plan is, right? And then that's one part. The next thing is just commit to that game plan, right? We're gonna put you in the right direction, but I can only do so much. It's up to you to be disciplined. Like I said earlier, it will be a lifestyle change, especially for our community, right? We have to make sacrifices in order to make things happen,
Right.
and it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen, a week from now, not even a month from now. But I assure you that if you stick to that marathon, if you run your race, you're going to be able to, make your things, make your dreams a possibility. And then also, when you do become that first time home buyer, just get your skin in the game, right? It's not your forever home. It's not your dream home per se. You still have those standards, but also know that you're building towards that, right? You can do so much with just that first property. You can leave that property, rent that one out. Now you have some income coming in. When you buy your next one, you have a multitude of things that you can do, but you cannot do any of them if you don't at least take that first step in getting in the real estate game, just getting into the financial well-being game, right? And just taking control of just your finances and your life in that sense. So, yeah,
Get
that's
in
all I
the
got.
game, y'all. Get in the game. Let's go. Put me in, coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if folks want to get in contact with you or watch your Brick by Brick series, where can they find some amazing information?
Yeah. So my information, I am on Instagram at Darius Graham Realtor. I'm also on Facebook, Darius Graham Realtor has you just type that in, and also go to my website at www.dariusgrahamrealtor.com and reach out. And if you guys want to send an email, give me a call, send me a DM. I'll definitely be reaching out to people, and even if you just have a question, you don't have to look to buy a house. If you just want to know some information, I'm here to inform and I'm here to help. So that's where it's at.
Shout out to the consistent branding
Yes.
on everything. See,
No, for sure. Yep.
No, it's been a pleasure having you on here. I feel like we've talked about real estate, but just our experiences in real estate. So it's really good to get an expert on here to ask these questions, to give your opinion. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us and being able to answer these questions and give people the education and the knowledge and the little tips and things, the mindset that they need to be in to elevate their game and get into real estate.
Right.
Oh no, thank you guys for having me. It's really a pleasure. You guys are doing it the right way, like I said earlier, and just continue to do what you guys do because it's really inspiring a ton of people. Not only myself and my sphere of influence, it's going to be able to transform a lot of people throughout this state, nation, and world. For real.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. That's a lot. Yeah. Well, let that. Let marinate. How comfortable are you with like PowerPoints and slides and stuff? Random question, kind of.
Pretty comfortable. It's actually funny that you say that. One of the things that we have worked. This will be an exclusive to the podcast. It's in the very early stages. It won't be for a while, but myself as well, partnered with my mother. We're going to be coming up with actually courses, right? And it's going to tie along to the brick by brick, and it's going to have just the knowledge of where she was, how she got to where she got. Both my parents, both coming from, lower communities in the hoods of Sacramento, and going to what I said earlier, retiring and having financial freedom. So they're going to give those steps of how they did that, and then also the steps and the resources in order to get into the real estate game. So we're looking on doing that pretty soon in 2021. So I'm just going to have those slideshows and everything as well.
Perfect. Well, that was what I was going to say. Like, if you want to test that course, the next time you come here, we can do like that presentation to where you're doing it. Or like people can see the visuals. I feel like with real estate, you kind of need some of the visuals, and seeing the numbers helps a lot. So if you want to test the course out or do like a mini version of the course, and then people got to sign up for the actual course to get the real nuggets, feel free.
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, you guys got it. We will definitely make that happen. We'll make put that in the works for sure.
For sure. Y'all know we like to lock folks in early. We like to lock them in. But all right, thank you, of course, to King Graham. But thank y'all for listening and watching and being committed to creating generational wealth for you and your families. Hopefully, you're able to take some step forward and get yourself a property. Thank you for joining us for True Out Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the Gore game. Play Black Wall Street. Y'all better play Black Wall Street. Forget about that other game.
My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd.
We hope y'all stay healthy. We hope y'all stay mentally wealthy. And of course, we hope y'all stay true.